Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Robert Scott Wilson has the ability to entice the petals of a flower, but let's be honest about it, it's been difficult for him to accept his new Days of Our Lives alter identity. Without going into too much detail, Alex is annoying. And no amount of shirtless scenes will make him suddenly appear less annoying. They simply turn him into a jerk who is also an exhibitionist. But there is still hope for the himbo, a valuable heritage character performed by an actor talented enough to get us past Ben's period as the Nectar Killer and ship him and Ciara. In Alex's case, that hope comes from a woman, and no, it's not Stephanie. For Pete Janning's sake, he's already tortured her. Though two wrongs equal a right. It's time for Days of Our Lives to reintroduce Claire, who was last seen in Salem recovering from her tragic romance with deranged Charlie and being lured to widower Ben. One fateful night at the Brady pub, she was seated next to Alex. Stephanie had just told him, for the third time, that he blew his shot with her and that he won't get another. If he wants to know why, she says it's not because of Chad, or because he kept her from her mother. It's because you do it all over again, she explains. You saw how much that hurt me, and you'd do it again if you were in the same situation, because you are, and I guess always will be, about you. Alex, licking his wounds, does not approach the gorgeous blonde next to him as he typically would. He's not simply repeating Stephanie's words in his thoughts, he's actually listening to them. At least, I'm trying. He'd been aware for some time that his actions were leading him nowhere. He's even admitted it. But what has he done to address it? Nothing. You look like how I feel, Claire observes. I'm sorry to hear it, he says. At the very least, I deserve to feel like I do. I'm sorry to hear that, Claire says, laughing. What exactly did you do? How about everything going wrong? The advantages of friendship. Over the course of one beer, then another, Alex and Claire realize they have a few things in common, most notably a past of mistakes they doubt they could live with if they didn't die at the age of 103. It feels hopeless, doesn't it? He acknowledges. It certainly can, she says. But perhaps we don't have to be hopeless causes. What if we simply decide to be different, better, starting right now? Do you think it's that simple? I don't think we'll know unless we try, she concludes. What do you think? Do you have a better idea? Yeah, I don't have any ideas, Alex agrees, so let's try yours. From then, the new pals begin to act as sounding boards for one another. They even start a calendar to track how many days have passed since they did something counterproductive or self-destructive. Alex and Claire's bond grows stronger as the days, weeks, and months pass. You're really good for me, he says. You're good for me too, she says. I've never been good to anyone, he realizes, including me. Normally, I'd have messed up something like this by attempting to get you to have sex with me. Claire says. Normally, I would have already sabotaged our relationship and begun devising stupid schemes to win you back. This could be the healthiest relationship I've ever been in. Even as Alex and Claire are having this chat, they are questioning if the reason they work is simply because they have remained close friends. Or have they broken their old habits sufficiently to allow them to kiss? Why not test the waters? Will you tempt fate? Days of Our Lives would not only have an Alex 2.0 that viewers could really get behind, but also a new super couple that we could ship if they both try to resist the impulse to leave the friend zone. She may seek Marlena's advice. He, Father Justin's. Speaking of dynamic duos, the new photo gallery below details the relationship status of all of Salem's couples. Shawn Brady, Brandon Beamer, will receive some devastating news during the week of August 14 to 18, according to Days of Our Lives spoilers. Shawn would immediately fear the worst if he receives updates on Victor Kiriakis, John Aniston, missing plane. Unfortunately, Shawn would later learn that Victor's plane was engaged in a horrific accident. After a plane crash, there will supposedly be no survivors, therefore Justin Kyriakis, Wadi Kurth, will find out and spread the message. Of course, today's spoilers predict that there will be a lot of disappointed Selamites once everyone realizes Victor will never return. Maggie Kyriakis, Suzanne Rogers, was arranging a grand homecoming meal with all of Victor's favorite foods, but he'll never be able to join them. Similarly, Xander Cook, Paul Telfer, will have to live with regrets because he was never able to reconcile with Victor and repair their family ties. Shawn, on the other hand, will suffer the most because he will blame himself for the plane catastrophe occurring at all. Shawn will clearly not be held responsible for the plane's downfall, but he will consider himself responsible for his grandfather ever being on that flight. DUO fans will recall Victor's most recent visit to Bo Brady, Peter Recco. If Shawn hadn't made a bad split-second decision and fired at his father, Bo wouldn't be in a facility halfway around the world. Instead, Bo might be blissfully catching up with friends and family in Salem right now. According to Day's teasers, Shawn will blame himself for Victor taking that flight and never getting off. It'll be a double punch of guilt for Shawn, who already feels terrible about Bo being in a coma, while Hope Williams Brady, Christian Alfonso, prays for a miracle. Unfortunately, there will be no miracle for Victor, because this plane crash is taking place to give John Aniston a befitting send-off. Because this is Victor's official day's exit, Shawn will be devastated by the sudden loss and will spin out more than ever before. It could jeopardize Shawn's therapy and lead to him drinking himself to death once more. Shawn may resort to harmful ways to cope as Victor's memorial service approaches. According to Days of Our Lives spoilers, Shawn will have a difficult time mourning, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.